All right, Toga Brothers, folks, welcome. Appreciate y'all coming into my live. Um, so here's the deal. It's 2026, and y'all haven't heard from me in how long? Maybe, I don't know, a couple months, probably since before Thanksgiving, right? I mean, this is crazy. So, welcome back, guys. This 2026, it's a new year. We've had a lot of new stuff happening, a lot of great things to come. So let's get into it, shall we? All right. First thing is first. You guys don't already know this happened. I had this done. I think it was Thanksgiving Day, pretty much. I had them do the whole outline. This is my design. I designed all of this. First of all, they ended up doing the outline for all of these, and then what he ended up doing was he ended up filling in the yellow, and then he did the letters and numbers, and then he filled in all the black. Let me tell you guys, it hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but there are some spots that are like missing spots, and that was due to some of the healing process. So I'm going to be going back and getting these all filled in with more color, and it's on the house. I paid a pretty hefty price for this tattoo, not going to lie. Let's just say it was under $500 though. So I'm going to go get that all fixed up, but this is permanent. I mean, it's not coming off. So I had this tattoo done. I will be getting a tattoo done right here. I think I want to get the plain window from the seat looking out with the plain wing. I think I want to get that right there. And then on my back, right around here, I would like to get a big old toe tug with the toe tug coming at you, right in the middle. Okay. So it's going to be right about here. Okay. And then right along here, right along there, and then right along here, I'm going to have a Boeing 767 on the back of it, 300 series, because that's my favorite plane that we ended up towing. That's probably like I gave it away. It's going to be a reminder of my favorite thing I've ever done as a job, which was towing planes around. It was so much fun. Um, and it was rewarding too, nonetheless. So I'm gonna get that done on my back, and then I don't know what I want to get on my calf. I do know that right here I want to get a killer whale, and it's gonna be Keiko. If you guys know who Keiko is, you guys remember the movie? Sorry, do you guys remember the movie? I'm getting it like hiccups. I think. Do you guys remember the movie Free Willy? Free Willy, the actor who played the whale, is actually known as Keiko. Keiko. Keiko, right? So I am a huge, huge advocate for captivity issues and the problems that are arising from having animals in captivity. And I think it's just insane. It's crazy to me that we keep these animals in like Sea World and sea parks and all that for public entertainment. But if you notice that the dorsal fins are folding over, do some Google research, folks. Look at regular like animals dorsal fin, they're propped upwards, right? And now that's not through fault of my own, but that's through fault of like you guys. Not I'm pointing at one individual person, but collectively they realize that that business makes them money. So they're going to continue to do that. But what you don't know, under the wraps, under the blanket, under the table, you're actually doing more harm than good, believe it or not. Because they should be in the wild. They should be out there. And you can go take, boat tours, you can take boat rides, you can go kayaking. It's a beautiful experience to go take a kayak out in the wild. Now, hear my warning. You cannot touch them and you cannot pet them because their body complexion is not made for our hands and our oils and our skin, right? It can actually do damage to that. So that's a lot of the reasons why they don't want you touching birds, because their feathers are very light and we have oils in our hands, natural oils. And if you do that and give the feather oil is a very weighted substance, right? It may not feel like it, but natural oil can actually affect a bird's feather, right? That's why I don't want you touching a bird. So, yeah, just when you go to these parks, understand that you're putting these animals at health risks, right? That's why oftentimes when you go say, well, you're not all happy, they're all fun. Well, what if I locked you in a room with nothing to do, right? No entertainment, no value. And I told you, okay, now go that, go that, go that, now do this, and now do this, and now do that. But I'm not giving you anything for your own benefit, for your own sake, right? Do that, do this, do this, do that. I'm just telling you to do this, do this, do this. You'd be kind of angry, right? Do y'all remember the incident that occurred with that trainer where the whale basically grabbed the trainer underneath the water and basically said, I'm done. I'm going to like drown you, essentially, right? So that was a direct cause of being in captivity. It was just very depressed. I didn't know what to do. So anyway, I rambled and rambled about that. But the point is I want to get Keiko's tattoo, and I want it to say R.I.P. and it's going to be the year in which Keiko passed. And then something underneath to represent and recognize that they need to be out free in their own home. Okay. So that's going to go there, and that's for the future right after I get this touched up and right before I get this one and this one. So the whale is going to be my next one. Okay, so I touched up on the tattoo. You guys are probably wondering why I'm really doing this, because I just had this yesterday. Guess what I did? Not wearing contacts, not wearing glasses, and I can see y'all. I had LASIK done. Matter of fact, I actually have these drops that the doctor gave to me. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but this camera should be focusing on this for you. Okay. Let me see if I can clear off some of the lens here real quick. So hold on, guys. All right. Let's see if it focuses, because it's supposed to. It wanted to. I got the refresh. And I have some medicated eye drops, which is basically milky in color, essentially. All right, so I'm actually a little past due because you're supposed to do this every hour. All right, so I'm going to do one right now, but hold on. Oh, okay. So, this was a long-awaited conversation and a long-awaited decision, basically. So, full disclosure, guys, I'm not the only one with LASIK. My father has LASIK. My BFF has LASIK. So let me break this down. So back in 2020, as you guys know, I'm just gently dabbing the area around my eyes, guys. I'm not actually touching my eyes, so don't freak out. Okay? All right, now in an hour, I'll have to reapply these. You're supposed to reapply it every hour. Okay. So it's back in 2020, And I was on the internet and I came across this very nice lady. If you guys don't know her, I'll have a video on my channel. And when I show you guys or tell you guys about it, it'll actually be posted either down in the comments or something. But she's mentioned in there and she's a very wonderful, absolutely outstanding woman. Love her to death, by the way. And yeah, I mean, I turned human again from meeting her. It's insane the amount of transformation and loyalty that she is. And by the way, she's Peruvian, so that is because that's just her personality and that's how she was grown up. So I admire her to the T. But anyway, so I was in chat and I came across this lady, and she spoke openly, and I talked to her, and she said something. I think the conversation was basically like, "Oh, I'm blind. That's why I wear glasses." And then she spoke up and said, "Oh, I don't have to worry about that. I've got LASIK." And so then I basically sent her a private message. And I normally, when guys are on the internet, they send you creepy messages. I just was only openly like, "Hey, I would definitely consider getting LASIK. What was the one thing of LASIK that you bothered you the most, or what were some benefits about having LASIK that you could give to me?" And she's like, "Interesting. I thought you would, be creepy dude, but you're not." So she opened it up and basically started texting and chatted me back. And so we got to talking about LASIK, and she was like, "Well, I had mine a long time ago. It hurt a little bit for the start, but at the end of it, I was fine. And I'm really glad that I did that because I don't need glasses. I don't need to get contacts or put them in." And so years and years and years later, I found out that basically LASIK can take FSA and HSA. Now, I don't think you guys know about that, but it used to be a cosmetic procedure. Okay. And so that's why your benefits wouldn't take it because it was purely cosmetic. It was just for the aesthetic for having basically good vision, right? And which is weird to me that you could get contacts to go over your eyeballs and it would correct your vision. And that would be through insurance. But my myopia, right, which is inside your eyeballs, when they correct for that and they fix all that, your vision is cleared. You can see, right? You don't need to wear eyeglasses. You don't need to wear contacts. So they're like, wait a minute, this is somewhat medicinal, right? And we should use your medical benefits for this. So when I found out that FSA and HSA was applicable, I decided, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to go to the what do you call it? Commitment free. I know there's a C word. Commitment free decision consultation. Oh, obligation free consultation. That's what I did. So I did a online person, interview with the doctor, and they explained all the information and all the questions financially. It was more so like, what happens for the laser part. And I kind of wanted to know the financial part of it. So when I went into the in-person consultation, they took me to the financial part of that, and they broke that down. So in October, it was like the first week of October, I did the phone interview. And then sometime, I think in November, I did the in-person interview, and it was outstanding. It was wonderful. Like, if I can just muster the operation itself, I could do this, right? And having talked and consulted with the ladies in the finance department, I found out that I actually get a much bigger discount than all of the promotions with my benefits. So they knocked that in. They deducted like a huge chunk per eye. And then I told them, I said, I'm going to be putting down 800 from my HSA. And that was back in October. It's like, well, we run the numbers, they ran the numbers, blah, blah, blah. So it's going to be like 200 here, 350 here, 400 there, and like 800 something there. Like, I can't afford that. So I'm like, all right, let me just wait a while. And so I crunched the numbers. I'm like, okay, if I do this, I could feasibly have LASIK done sometime in July. I'll have enough saved up because I'll have like $50 added into it. Well, turns out I've been making deposits and deposits, and I dropped 129 in my last paycheck, which was outstanding. It was incredible. So what ended up happening was I ended up having a lot more chunk than I wanted. I ended up having like an $1,800 chunk that I could put into LASIK. And over time, I could pay it off within a year. So I said, you know what? I'm doing it. January, it's going to be my early birthday Christmas present to me. It's going to be the fact that I'm going to have eyes to be able to see when I need to see them. Like, for example, I can see the words on my screen. I can see um, these words here. I can see those words there. I can see that there. Like I can see everything. Like I can see that there with my eyes. I don't have to squint and see it. I used to have bad astigmatism, guys. I used to have in both eyes. Now I'm actually worse in my right eye than my left eye. Remember, this is flip flopped. So this is my right eye. This is my left. Now, if you guys want to know a quick little tidbit here, a quick little medical fact, in the medical industry, everything that the patient is talking about, when you write it, you reverse it. Okay. So if I tell you that my right shoulder hurts, you're looking at my left, right? Because you're looking at it from your point of view. This would be my left. This would be my right. But I'm telling you, my right shoulder hurts. So it'd be this side. So you have to keep that in mind. So my right eye is worse than my left eye. And they told me that, and I knew about that because when you know how they tell you for that vision test, they tell you to close one eye and then close the other eye. I had a hard time concentrating on the text on one line and then this line and this line. Like I had to squint really hard to see the text on one eye versus the other eye. I'm like, oh, this is not good. I already know that means that my vision is like terrible. So we ended up having to get correct it. I've worn contacts for a while. Thought it would correct for a little bit. And then they took me in the vision room. It's like, oh, this is going to be a big one. So they said, well, we can definitely get you a candidate for LASIK. So I said, okay, all right, now go ahead and put me in. And, what's the earliest you can get me in? Well, the earliest we can get you in is this day. And I said, well, that's not going to work because I'm at work and I'm here. You're there. It's not going to work. And I've got to be here until midnight. So what other day we have? Well, we've got Mondays, we've got Thursdays, we've got Fridays because we don't work on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Perfect. I'll be there on Monday. So I went in yesterday and it was around 5:15 or 17:15. And I did a lot of paperwork. And guys, when I tell you that it was felt like forever, they finally took me in that operating room at 19:05, like 7:05 p.m. It was crazy. And so they did a whole bunch of questions and they put their eye drops in me, numbing eye drops. And I didn't feel a thing except the pressure. Oh my God, guys. Um, I I don't want to go too far into this because I want to do a LASIK journey and a LASIK progress video podcast. So I don't want to touch too much on that, but for the lack of it, guys, I went in at 7 o'clock. They put me through the procedure and I walked out with like 8 something. I'm like, oh, thank goodness it's over because I don't think I can take that twice. Um, and yeah, I'm on my road to recovery. I keep putting eye drops, these specific ones, in every hour, and then I have to put these in from um, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and bedtime. So 4 times a day for 1 week, and it's supposed to last me one whole week. And I'm supposed to use it up, until I feel like, oh, they're fully healed. No, you're supposed to use it the whole week. So that's pretty much the biggest thing I've got going on. I'm looking at possibly buying a house in like April, probably after, I get my tax check back and, some other bonus checks back and what that and the fourth. I think I would like to end up buying a house close to where I work, but I'd like to go move away from where I am now. I'd like to kind of check out the Dallas area. They hear Dallas is really nice and really cool. Now, Houston, I have nothing against Houston, but I don't know. When I went and traveled to Dallas for one of my jobs, I really liked it. You know what I mean? So I want to see if I can go check out that area down there. What else? So I'm thinking about buying a house there. I'm also in the market to basically turn my SUV into a pickup truck. I think I'm going to go with an F-250, a Power Stroke. I think I'm going to go that direction. I think it's going to be valuable. And I would love to own a ranch down the road. That would be my dream, to be able to own a ranch, with horses and a trailer, and go riding around and stay in my, ranch house and all that stuff, and just kind of be, my own. I don't necessarily miss the city life, and I don't necessarily want to stay in the country life, but I think it'd be kind of fun. So that's what's going on. And then, yeah, you guys know I've ended up selling my Honda, and I sold my other bikes too. I'm gonna step it up. I'm gonna get a Harley. I'm gonna get a Street Glide, and I think I'm gonna get the 2019 Street Glide Special. I'm gonna get the 109 Milwaukee 8. I don't know if I want to get the 114. That's a lot of bike, guys. You got to understand, I weigh 130 and 5'3". If that bike goes, if it tips, it's taking me with it. And I don't want that responsibility, and I don't want to damage my brand new baby girl. So that's pretty much all in the works, guys. Our lease for this place is going to be up in April. So I have quite a bit of time, as in not a lot, to make that decision. And we'll take you through every step of the journey. One of the reasons that we want to consider moving away from here, we don't have a balcony. Guess what? Guess what I love to do? I love to barbecue, love to smoke. Guess what we haven't been doing? Yeah, guys, we haven't been doing none of that. So I feel like it's just been missing from me for a little bit, and I want to get back into doing it. I want to smoke some pork, some baby backs. I want to smoke some chicken, some turkey, some sausage, some wings. Oh man, I had some of the best pulled pork while I was back home in the DC area. So I'm gonna get back into that. What else, guys? Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. I want to get back into the dating game. I miss dating, and I miss, having my person. I'm gonna start investing myself in 2026 into finding my person. And what else? I Funny little story for you guys. So the coworker from my last work area assignment, was working next door to me, and I found out he's a pretty cool little guy. And I'm like, ah, man, he's kind of spunky. Like, I really get along with him. We click really well. We just get each other. Like, there's no way we're gonna work side by side the next bid. I'll just see where I go. Have fun. Sure enough, they put me with the regional jet departures. And guess where he's located? The very next side. So yeah, we're working side by side, and I found out that he's got a lot more connected to me than I thought it was. He's got a little bit of the tism. Yeah, he does. So I'm gonna try to reach out to him and hang out with him. Now, let me tell you guys something. You guys know my Toga brother, by the name of Richard. If you guys don't already know, go watch his latest video. He's done a live, and he's got a lot of deep information. And some of that information, he's got a lot in production, hence Train X Productions. So go follow him. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised with what is going on. So if you look in the chat right down there, okay, where is it? Right down there. You will see I posted the name of his channel. Now, apparently, I'm not going to run into anything of that kind of sort. There's some possibility of it transforming and all that. But you know what? I'll let him fill you in on all of that, okay? Because I don't want to overstep my boundaries, and that's really his business. So go watch his video on his channel, and he'll fill you all in, okay? But that gentleman will always be my Toga brother. I need to find a tattoo for us, man. Yeah, I've got to find a tattoo. You know what? I might actually do the toe team thing with United 73 or 767 300, or I may just do like a design, like a non-branded tattoo, because if I, end up leaving or retiring, I don't want that to be the thing that stands out. It'll just be a 767. You can tell by the engines. Um, and so I'm gonna probably have Toga Brothers there, and then something to remind me of our dynasty. I mean, it's really a dynasty, guys. I mean, we've been all over YouTube, all over Facebook and Instagram, that sort of thing. So TikTok too. Like, holy moly, guys. So, but the reason I tell you that is the new guy that I work side by side with is basically like my spitting image of my brother, Richard, who's on the Train X production down there. You guys will absolutely love him. I may do a collaboration with him, do a couple of videos and, stuff of that sort, and go do some train spotting and, you name it. So that's in the works. I hope you guys enjoy that. But yeah, I definitely have got some things planned for this channel. Let's see, what other update do I have for you? I have moved some of my content over to a private channel, and I am not going to disclose that. But that is more or less like my secret side, and only specific people will have access to this side of me and specific channel, okay? Because once I introduce you to that, you will no longer see me in the same manner, in the same light. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be broadcasting that on this channel here. You'll have to find me and have that, and it won't be listed. You can't find me. I have to give it to you. So, I'm going to be moving some of my content from here on over to there. And I have a lot of items that are going to be mentioned on there. So, also, I don't know if you guys know this, but I just got a pretty cool new Christmas present through my folks. God bless their heart. So basically, guys, I don't know if you know this, because I've got a bunch of that tism going on. Searching for a gift for me is very, very difficult. And not impossible. It's just difficult. Like I like certain things and I get bored with certain things. So I wanted to find something that really spoke of me. And so my mom and my dad was going to graciously gift me a couch. Now I was like, why would you want a couch? Well, here in this place over there, well, yeah, over there, through that door, that portal door, which is my bedroom door, there's not really a whole lot going on. I've got a drum kit, an e-drum kit. I have a box for a TV out there. I have a table, like a set-top table with a tablecloth, plastic tablecloth, with items on there that I plan on selling. And then on the other side, I have a bike, like a mountain bike, like a recreational hobby bike. And then I have some tools, and then I have clothes that I'm planning on washing. So it's not really a place that you can hang out. And I thought before we did all that, it was just empty. It just had a drum kit and it had tools, which is weird for an apartment. Like, to be honest, guys, I don't know if you guys, one thing I might have to do is go find all my videos in my apartment and just stitch them and show you what it looks like while I have like most of our stuff moved into it. It is very odd, very strange. And we don't have any storage. The only storage we have is a pantry, or we have open shelves. But you can't put tools in there, and you can't put a vacuum in there. Only thing you'd have to put in there is a canister vac that's low to the ground, right? So I don't have anywhere to put all that stuff. So the only place to put it was my living room. And I have a 2-bedroom living room, right? 1,500 square feet. So a significant size for an apartment. So I'm like, having a couch would be nice because we could just make use of that space, and I could put a TV in there, a sound bar, and we can relax, watch, movies and chill out in a living room and entertain friends, entertain people. So that's what I did. I entertained friends and people and stuff of that sort. So that's what we ended up wanting to think. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I could buy that and it would be fine, but like, what if we move? I'd have to lump that whole couch, which, by the way, go watch my apartment video. I wish that they would have expressed this like really, really, really ingrained into this, into us. There is no elevator. There's no free elevator to go up and down each and every level. I mean, there's separated apartment complex buildings. There's like building 3, building 4, building 5, building 6, building 1, building 3, right? But there's no elevator. And I live on the 3rd floor. Okay. So lumping a bed, a fridge, a couch, what have you, is nearly impossible up that staircase if you don't have a spare set of hands that can help you out, over a beer, over a drink, over a pizza or something. Like it's going to be impossible. So I'm like, I love you guys to death, but hear me out. Let's hold off on that couch idea. And I said, what would really be nice is if I had an iPad to use. Because if I had an iPad, and by the way, this is my background picture. I'll explain this in another separate video on what that whole thing and begin with. It was the moment I've never been more scared in my whole life, truthfully. So I basically was like, I can put all of my photos. Guys, I have a ton of photos here. Let me see if it actually will tell you. Check on it. It doesn't tell me how many. Okay, 690. 690 photos. Now, if I left these on all of my iPhones and all that stuff, like my storage would be maxed out and it'd be forced to get a new phone because of the storage. I'm not doing that. No. I can also keep all of my notes that I would have on my phone that I don't need to see every single day. Like stuff that I wrote on Facebook. I don't need that. My YouTube channel links, right? That you guys can see, and I wrote a huge description on that. You guys don't need that on my phone. Like I could write that, right? I made a list of things I want to do in life. I don't need that. You feel me, guys? What else? A breakdown of what my computer is, right? Like this is nothing that's confidential. You can see my AMD Ryzen 7. Nothing that's not too terrible, but I don't want that on my cell phone, right? I'd rather have like videos and real content. Like if I do a 40-minute video, I want that 40-minute video all on there. I don't want it to say, hey, got to cut here due to space restrictions. Like, really? Seriously. And by the way, just so you guys are aware, I have 512 gigabytes of storage on this phone. Come on, focus. There we go. And I have 38 gigabytes used, right? As you can see, the most used one is TikTok, and that has 339 gigabytes or 3.39 gigabytes. The next one, Facebook, with 2.3. The next one is WhatsApp with almost a gigabyte of memory. You know what I don't have? 13 gigabytes of photos. So having this iPad was the best gift that I've had in a long while, right? And I know that being on autism, like this stuff is pretty, fun. Let me tell you guys something. I do not, and I mean do not, have any I don't have any games. I legit don't have none. Let me show you. Where is it? Okay. I forget where it is located, but I don't have legit any games on here. I mean, I have the games app. Well, no, I lied. Okay, the only game I have on here is a flight sim. It's called Airline Commander, and it's pretty fun. So, um, basically, you fly and you take control of a bunch of aircraft, and you buy, and not for nothing, but this has actually taught me a whole bunch of skills that I would have needed to become a pilot. And by the way, that is in the works. I forgot to tell that to you guys. Um, so as you can see, they want me to start this, but that's because I hasn't signed in on my account. You can see routes. They want you to buy a particular plane and go into here. You can buy a license and all that stuff. So this is your basic takeoff, basic landing, yada yada yada. It's actually pretty fun, and these are real aircraft types, guys. You've got the Saab. You've got I'm gonna exit out of this. You've got the MD-80, you've got the 737, you've got the Boeing 717. Like you've got general planes in there. So that's about the only game I have. And the other one is Emergency HQ, which is basically a simulation of nothing but like, taking sick patients, putting out fires, big accidents, this sort of thing. But that's a big memory hog. I think I'm going to delete that because I don't play games. I literally don't. If you look at my screen, God, I can't believe that. I have weather, stocks, contacts, phone. I don't know why phone's on there. Maybe for FaceTime. But my passwords, I've got all my passwords on there. I'm a password freak. I forget everything. So I've got all my passwords stored on there. So if I ever need it, like on here, I can just go and look into it, right? I mean, I could transfer it, but if I don't use it on a daily basis, there's no reason to. Clear Me, don't need that one because I don't have that one. Dot, like the dot card, like the memory dot card. I haven't need to change it, so I stick it on here. Eagle Rider, that's just a program for bikes. Don't need it because I don't do it enough. So as you can see, I really use this a lot. And I've got YouTube here, right? I've got my YouTube channel right now. And I have all my other accounts as well. So you can see I have the Toga Brothers one, and I have all the other ones as well. Okay. So I definitely make use of this tablet here. And I only thing is I have a PC. And I think I will forever stick to PC because it's just handy. I like PC because of the customization and the ability that will allow the user to change what they want on the actual system. So I will stick to PC, but that's a new thing for me. I've got that going on, and I'm going to get a keyboard. But actually, to be honest with you, I don't know why they're calling. I have a Bluetooth keyboard. So when I'm ready to start typing or, writing a note, I can put that up there and use it. And I actually have it on a strap. So when I'm out and about, I normally will keep this on me like this. And it's not uncommon to see me at work, in public, while we're out with it around me. Because I have like practically me on here. Now it is password protected, so I've got that going on for me. But yeah, this is pretty significant thing. But I've got the keyboard that I have, and I keep this on on hand if I need it. And I don't take this with me. It's a pretty significant size. I mean, look, there's my hand. It's way bigger than my hand, right? And I don't feel like buying a case for this that has a keyboard because this is a rugged case. Look at this. You see this? Look at how rugged this. And this is really cool. It's actually a touch finger thing, right? It's actually an unlock thing for your finger, but it actually will feel like it's just a small piece of plastic that they stick over the power button, which is like a touch thing. And that's what I use to open and unlock it. And they have a spot for your camera. They have a spot for your charging port. It's basically like an OtterBox, right? The only problem is my cords that I usually use 9 times out of 10 goes through this port and it's too thick, right? So what they end up doing is they end up basically cutting out a hole in the bottom. I don't know if you guys can tell, right? You see that spot where they cut out a hole in the bottom? So it's hard to get like a USB stick in there. It's hard to get a regular charge cord. Well, a regular charge cord, which is over on the bed, over on that side, is thin. I can get that in there. But if I had a third party cable, right? Like fatter than this cable, right? If I tried to stick that in there, that was a little bit fatter, couldn't. Why? Because it's not going to fit, right? Same with like memory sticks. I have a 300 and something gigabyte, mega stick. I can't stick that in there because it's too thick. So I have to find a cable that comes out of here that will let me put that USB stick into it. So, but anyway, I absolutely love this, and I don't think I'll be getting a keyboard because it's just not compatible with this particular case, as in it won't, connect to it. Now, I have a feeling that's why this is here for those particular type of keyboards, but I love it, and I take this everywhere I go, and I've had this since basically Christmas time. This was my Christmas present because I couldn't enjoy Christmas with my folks. That reminds me, I'm going to put you all on pause for a second because I have a few items that just arrived and I'd like to share them with you. Good. Okay, so I don't know if... What was that? Okay. We're good. A long time ago, guys, I bought cans of peach tea from Peace, Peace. I'll put it in chat. And they have peach and raspberry. And both of them are really good. So, do you guys want to see the cans? You do, don't you? I am a sucker for peach. Oh my goodness. This is what it looks like. There you go. Just peachy. And it's peach. It's orange. The best part is this is 16 fluid ounces. It's non-carbonated. And this one is raspberry. Razzleberry, actually, sorry. But it's just raspberry flavored. Okay? That's what toppled over. But, okay. So you guys are familiar with White Elephant, right? You guys where they basically pick out a gift and you can steal. So this year, well, last year, for Christmas, we ended up doing it differently. We basically put out 5 gifts or, specific gifts for everyone to say, this is my favorite item. And we put them all in the middle and each person grabbed a number. And for example, I was number 1. So I was the first person to go and I grabbed an item and I ended up grabbing my sister's recipe book, right? Because I don't know if you guys are aware, probably have, but I am in love with cooking. I love to cook. Now, I've had countless meals that I wish I had recorded and jot down, but this is going to be amazing. I mean, this is incredible. So the joke really is my family used to have this navy blue book that my mom and my dad had in their kitchen. It was just filled with recipe after recipe after recipe after recipe after recipe. And they were good. Like, it was all my dad's handwriting, so, kudos to him. But, I mean, we've got dinners, we've got, snacks, we've got desserts, we've got side dishes, we've got drinks and all that stuff. It's in there. It's full of it. And so, you know what? My sister said, okay, my favorite thing is recipes. So this is going to be my item. Well, I snagged it and I took it. So this was one of the items that I got from the whole gift swap. And the other thing too is you can't take someone's gift. Our whole thing was you can't take someone's gift. Once you take it from the pile, that's yours. So one of my mom's favorite things, which I took, was a travel power strip, right? It actually winds itself all around and it plugs into it. So the whole idea is you take this part, plug it into the wall, and you have two outlets which you can have connected to yourself, right? And I think what I'm going to do is connect this onto underneath my bed and then just pull it around and then have two outlets, one for my phone and one for something else. Because I have one, but it's got three, and I don't need three. And I can actually use that one that's over. Well, no, it's over here. I'm not going to show you what's over here. You don't need to see that. So that was item number 2. Item number 3. Now, you guys know what kind of job I'm in, right? And you guys know what I need to use quite frequently? I don't think you guys know that, but I do. It's a pen. And this was, I think, from Cross. Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful pen. You can never go wrong with owning a great pen set. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I believe you can get refillers too. So very nice pen on this. This was item number 3. And then the reason I did this for you guys is because there's a baseball team in Tennessee. Excuse my hair. Okay. There is a baseball team that's there, and it's Chattanooga, right? And so, but the cool thing is, this actually belonged to one of the guys there. Like, this is his hat. So, this is a 7 and 1, I think 1/4 fit. I mean, I like this. This fits great, man. You know, like, it actually fits me. You feel me? So that's one of the reasons why I ended up doing this whole thing. But this was a great find, and I'm going to absolutely enjoy this. So those are the items from there. I think this is probably my favorite ball cap of the whole thing. This is a BioWorld pre-curved snapback, one size fits most. And the reason being is because of where the temples start. The lining of where the brim meets the band around your head is very low profile. So as you can tell, like, let's see where this is, right along my forehead. Even wearing it back, like, I still feel like it's secure on there. If I shake it, it's not gonna move. Other hats, like my other ball caps, I'll use this one as an example, right? So same style, right? Except this is a little bit pre-curved. I honestly like mine flat, but watch the difference. You see this? You see this right here? I wish that this was a lot shorter, and I wish that this was curved a little inwards and the brim was a little smaller, because it would have made this hat a lot better fit. Now, if I want to, well, you can just make the plastic, things in the back a lot smaller. Okay, so it's at the smallest thing you can do, right? Before we start going overlap. Okay. You can see it's kind of bunching up right here. It's kind of annoying, but still, look. You see this? It's kind of like outwards. And I feel like that's not as regular as this one. Now, keep in mind, it's at its widest, or not widest, but it's at its shortest side. And I can still let my ears go over it. You feel me? So it's got the right size there. So this is my favorite ball cap for the time being. It is a Dr. Pepper branded ball cap, and absolutely, yes, Dr. Pepper is one of my favorite drinks. It's not my favorite, and if you know it, put it in the comments. right down there. I know some of you know it. Put it in the comments. And I did a whole video on it too, hoping that it would win a contest. So that's a big clue. It was in a contest and it won, so they mass produced it. See if you can figure it out. But that was my favorite drink. This is my second favorite beverage. So, what else do I have to tell you guys? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. I will be taking yet another trip to Peru, probably sometime in February. I think that's probably going to be in the works. We're going to be doing a candlelight performance. I cannot wait for that. It's going to be absolutely beautiful in Peru, nonetheless. And then we're going to go see some other parts of Peru I haven't seen before. And Peru is a pretty significantly big country. I mean, compared to other countries, not compared to most, but compared to other countries. So, and thank goodness to one of my very closest friends of mine. I'm going to get to see it from them being in Peru like their whole life. So I'm excited for that. What else? I would love to be able to go travel to Maine. Love to be able to travel to. I would like to go see one of my other buddies in Wisconsin. I think that's going to be in the works too. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. That's about wraps up my 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 updates. I'll update you guys later. Like I said, guys, I'm gonna do a whole nother video on my LASIK journey and tell you guys all about that because that was a whole ordeal in itself. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you how it felt, what I expected, what happened. That was close. Yeah. Stay tuned for that video if you guys are curious. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and log off here, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Those of you guys that watch my videos and all my stuff, I appreciate you. I'm going to end the stream now. So drop a comment, like this video. Go enjoy the rest of my other stuff if you guys want. You know, you'll find it entertaining. All right. Until next time, I'm Sean the Toga Brother. Guys, I love you, but I'm out.